When I was 8 years old, I drove a car for the first time while sitting on my father's lap. The car was a Saab 900 Turbo. As a high schooler learning to drive stick, I spent many hours behind the wheel of my neighbor's various Saab Turbo coupes and convertibles. And at the time, I recall them being fast, involving, and unlike any other car on the road. Even as a child, I knew the reverse clamshell hood, curved windshield, center ignition, driver-focused interior, and sloped winged hatch was just different. Now, as an adult with experience, we thought we should revisit two of Saab's most iconic models, both owned by one enthusiastic collector.
I always looked at the car and I thought that I need to lower the car a little bit, and that's where it started. My first upgrade was just like lowering springs. The car was fast as is at the time. Modifications, the computer chip. A friend of mine stopped by my house, he's like, hey, try that. I tried it, I was like, whoa. It's like the car just woke up, big time. And from there, it just kept going.
If you grew up in the northeast of the US like me, the Saab Turbo was a regular sight, driven by English teachers, history teachers, really any teacher, and Jerry Seinfeld. Was it a performance car? Well, sort of. Pioneered a lot of early technologies, turbocharging, front-wheel drive, really good ergonomics, bad weather capability. This one's been modified quite a bit, and what's interesting about how it's been modified is, at least in terms of the engine, is it uses mostly parts from other Saabs.
Most of the work on the car I have done myself. It has about maybe 200,000 miles on it, and I'm proud of that. The first thing I started with was the automatic control box, the APC. From that, you had to put bigger injectors, the fuel pressure regulator. You went into exhaust, intercooler, headers, and then suspension, of course, always evolved. I've changed the suspension of this car probably about 20 times.
This is old school turbo. New school turbo is torque, mid-range, die at the top, right? Fiesta ST, WRX, they're all like that. This is old school, bigger turbo, top-end power. Unless you're shifting at redline, it'll drop out a boost every single time you shift. So you get that boost lag if you're driving at anything less than a full clip. Just the layout of this whole car is strange. Front wheel drive, longitudinal slant mounted engine sitting on top of the gearbox with an output shaft that goes forward and then a drive shaft that goes backwards into a transaxle. It's so bizarre. Khaled says this car is geared for 165 miles an hour. There is nothing I would rather do less than go 165 miles an hour in this car. Now, credit where it is due. This car is probably about as dialed in as you can get a Saab 900. It's reasonably fast. It makes cool sounds. The ride quality is excellent, actually. It rides really nice. It has good grip. It's composed except under very hard braking when it likes to understeer and scare you. The thing about this Saab is it's sort of representative of all of Saab in that I posted a picture of this car on Instagram this morning and it got 1,000 likes and 80 comments in about an hour of everyone saying how awesome it was. Meanwhile, if you ask people if this is what they actually wanted to drive, I bet very few of them would say yes. That is Saab. Saab was the company that made people go, ooh, look at that, that's cool. Oh, do you want to buy one? Well, not really. Now we're out of business. I'd be lying if I didn't say that I wish Saab was still around. I do. I do wish they were still around. They made weird stuff I found interesting. But what you do take away from this car is the ergonomics are amazing. The dash layout is like perfect. It's comfortable and spacious. To the die-hard enthusiasts, Saab probably could have died after this car and it would have been the same as it is now. But when I was growing up, they came out with one other model that was faster than this one. Fortunately, Khaled owns both. So let's see if it's any good.
much I always wanted to buy a Viggen. You know, I always look at them, I like them, read the reviews or whatnot. And in 2007, we were having a baby, and I was like, a 2-door is not gonna work. Honey, we need to buy a 4-door. And right away, of course, I started looking for Viggens.
Meeting your heroes can be a really good thing. But this is meeting a car that I was mildly interested in high school. This is a 2002 Saab 93 Viggen. This one's the 5-door, and at the time, this was sort of the pinnacle of the born from jets thing, right? The Saab born from jets, because Saab Scania was a jet manufacturer and did build jets, one of which was called the Viggen. Do those jets have anything to do with the car? Absolutely not. It was a branding exercise, but it was a very successful branding exercise, at least in terms of creating an impression on an 18-year-old me.
The best thing about a Viggen is that it's a great daily driver. If you want a fun daily driver that like you can do anything with, I think this is it. You have so much room. The car is really comfortable. It is a Saab. It feels like a Saab in every way. The engine and the tuning of this car for its time, it's really good.
My friend's little brother had one of these in high school, and at the time, it was exceptionally cool. It made as much power from its 4-cylinder as an Audi S4 made from a twin-turbo 6. It's a 3,200-pound car with a 230 horsepower, very laggy, turbo 2.3, front-wheel drive 5-speed.
Koni shocks and springs, Viggen rescue kit, 6-point subframe support, strut mount support, 1-inch rear sway bar, rear diesel mount. That's it.
You can pick up a really clean Viggen for like 10,000 bucks. So if you think about it compared to what else you're gonna get for 10,000 bucks, you can get a lot of car. It's just not that fast. In my memory from high school, Nick Shalik had a fast car. Nick Shalik did not have a fast car. Credit where it's due though. The car's solid, there's not a lot of squeaks and rattles. It's got 125,000 miles on it. It runs good, the air conditioning cranks cold. It actually rides well. It has really nice ride quality. Piece of advice, kids. Your heroes will probably be as cool as you imagine them to be, but cars you find mildly interesting could still let you down.
Well, let me just say that I would never want to sell my Saabs, just say that straight. But sometimes, if you want to drive another car, you're going to have to let another car go. You know, somebody once said, a Saab is a Saab is a Saab, so there it is. You can't compare, in my opinion, you can't compare it to anything else.
After spending a day with these two fine examples of Swedish engineering, we come away with mixed feelings. On the one hand, the SPG is surprisingly fun and capable as a weekend tuner car, and we wish we saw them more often. On the other, we've learned why Saab just didn't really last. Different is only good when the market says it's better. Sadly, being different just to be different isn't enough in today's mass market economy. So while we remain optimistic for the return of Saab and nostalgic for what it once stood for, if they were selling cars today, we'd probably look elsewhere.